In general, there's probably three things. One is you always act with integrity. One of the reasons why we named our company Pupfish is the pupfish is a tiny fish in Death Valley that my dad loved to go see after the trade show for the electronics industry out in Las Vegas. Him and my mom would hike out there, and he loved these pupfish to the point where he brought us out there, and he ran his companies with the highest of integrity. And to me, that's something that I picked up, that you always have to act with integrity. The second thing is continuous improvement. I mentioned, we were coming up on our 5th-year anniversary, October 1st. And, when we look back at when we started, the change in what has happened over the last 5 years is huge, but it wasn't one giant step. It was a series of very minor steps, multiple minor steps that got us to where we were going. And that continuous improvement has been so important to us, as it should be for all other companies. And the other thing I could say is keep learning. Our industry seems to get locked in on doing things the old way, which is why so many people are still shredding hard drives instead of degaussing them. And even on the recycling side, the whole process of getting the metals off the boards by smelting or by using toxic chemicals sometimes to get the metals off the boards is changing. I happened to see a Netflix show of a company in New Zealand that came up with this biomass that can do this process with the PC board using very little heat and by using no caustic chemicals. And I had I reached out to them. I looked them up. I reached out to them, and they reached back to me, and we had a great conversation to the point where they are bringing their process to the United States, down in Texas, and they'll be opening up their plant down in 2026. And I'm thrilled that they invited me to the opening of that facility, because I think, we can do great things recycling the way we're doing them now, but I think we're just scratching the surface as to where we can be, now with batteries and the car batteries, and it's just, there's so much out there now that we can improve upon.